Hey everyone, it's Lauren here from Color the Kitty and Stampin' Up. I'm here a lot later than I intended, but there's a story to all of it. So I'm going to breeze through the usual events list. And to be honest, I have not updated the slide, which is updated on my Canva, but I haven't had time to update it, so I'll just run through the basics. Yes, my Christmas coloring sheets are available, and I do have a new Christmas coloring sheet available on my website. Now that my website, colorthekitty.com, is now back online, I'm happy to hear. The last free social crafting on Zoom for 2022 is over on November 29th. I'm not doing December, but I will have one in January. Once I have the date, I'll let you know. From now till the end of the month, so December 1st through the end of the month, is the last chance sale from items from the mini catalog that are retiring and not continuing over to the new catalog. There's some really, really great sales happening. I do have a December bingo game happening at the end of the month, and I have new updates for the Stampin' Club and Mini Stampin' Cruise. So the club is anyone who makes an order in December, $50 or more, are entered to a draw for one lucky winner. Same applies for the Mini Stampin' Crew. For anyone who makes an order under 50 are entered to a draw for one lucky winner. So far I've got 2 entries for the Mini Stampin' Crew, which is cool. December 10th, which is only a couple days away, is the deadline to subscribe for the Paper Pumpkin Kit. Good things come in small packages. It's a kit for making little gift box for gift cards, so I'm looking forward to it. January 6th is my 2023 desk calendar class I'm having on Zoom. $7 fee, extra a couple bucks to ship out. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Zoom. The deadline to register for that is December 16th if you want in on my desk calendar class. I also have another class in January, my HB Lauren Pamper Pets class, Kurt class. That is on January 27th. The registration for subscribing will be middle of January if you're interested. And what I don't have mentioned here is another class. I'm doing a Amazing Silhouettes stamp set card set class. I posted earlier today. If you'd like to know more about this different type of class, please give me a shout. For hosting and party hosting and unpartying, available December and ongoing. So I'm just kind of playing off this list to kind of work through here. And here I am on Thursday, much later than intended. Earlier tonight should have been my video for Color the Kitty portion, which is going over my color sheets. But I'll take a look in a little while to make sure that did get posted. And then on the weekend, I have coloring sessions, and I'm still continuing with my coloring madness as well as my 12 weeks and ongoing rounds of Christmas, which is fun. And then these videos are starting here on the Facebook group, Playing with Papers and Colors-SU. Then these videos are also shared over on YouTube. Okay, so there's the quick version of the events and dates using an old slide. Alright, for the Paper Pumpkin promo, good things come in small packages. There's actually an add-on kit as well to add on to this, which has card bases and envelopes, which is pretty cool too. For party hosting, I would suggest is a good idea, and in person or online, whichever you prefer, we can definitely have a chat if you are so interested in doing some party hosting or even just having a shopping link for this time of year. Although today is the last day to place an order for orders trying to get in time for Christmas because Stampin' Up! Is having some severe delays in getting orders out. So unfortunately, we're pretty much past the cutoff now because it's almost midnight. Sorry about that. But there's still great ways of getting some items in for the new year. And already kind of mentioned, we're doing celebration again in January and February. So if you're wanting to do a party hosting and then what benefit that is to you is if your party reaches at least $375 in sales in January or February, there's a free host stamp set. So something to look forward to. For joining, kidnapping, come on, let's join, make some crafts and have fun. That's really the basis I can say about kidnapping. For $135 to buy in, you get $165 worth of products. That's a customized starter kit that you can pick on what you want to pick. And that's pretty awesome. Okay, so let me jump to a whole different camera angle. Hi, I almost never show myself, but here we are. So here's a story about today. I was going to be here. I really, really was. But then someone called me yesterday and said, "Hey, Lauren, I got you some cactuses for Christmas." I'm like, okay. So I was really busy yesterday. I couldn't call back until today. And then so today's phone call is, well, can you like come and pick them up? Because we don't want to wait till Christmas. We don't know how to water them or don't know what to do with them. So I went out and get the cactuses. I love cactuses, but it was like, I gotta run around and do stuff. Okay. So we got 3 cactuses here. Let me grab, and they did not come with any actual pots, so I have to like find something to put them in. So here is one, and these are all from IKEA, in case you're wondering. And I just want to get this guy out. Because I had suggested to this person that IKEA has really great cactuses. And here we are. So here is this beauty. And I don't know what I'm going to name it. I've actually had one of these before and it died. So what fortunately I have is I've had these from before. And I'm going to use them to help my cactuses hopefully survive. So we got one here. And I also got a water spritzer so I can give them a quick spritz tonight. And see how they're doing. I gotta name these guys. And of course, usual to me, they're going to be Star Wars characters. Okay, that's one. And we got 2 more. Let's try and decide which one I want to do next. Here's another cactus. And they're actually, because the person was concerned that they're pretty dry. I'm like, yeah, they are pretty dry. So give them a little bit of watering tonight. And hopefully they're good. So here is a pretty guy. Let's tilt you downward so we can see it. Let me get you out of the package. I hope this will fit into something because I don't really have pots for these. Fudge. Yeah, I don't have pots for them. Shoot. This is what happens when... But if I'm creative, and I am super creative, I'm going to temporarily use this. So let me get some scissors. Because gotta love it when... Because I even told the person, like, hey, if you buy them from IKEA, they generally don't always come with pots. And sure enough, they don't have pots. And that kind of sucks. I still thought they were going to fit the other ones, but they're not. So I'm just going to cut that down. And put these just somewhere else. And then... we've got this. So there's a partial pot I can work with to keep this guy hopefully stable, hopefully. So that's pretty good. Yeah, you're pretty dry too. Yeah, you're all pretty dry. You got some really neat fuzzies happening. Look at you. I gotta name you guys. All right, and we got one more, which we're probably gonna do the same thing that we just did. Cut down the packaging. So we got this guy here. Actually, let me move them a little more off the side. I just wish they came with pots. That's the only downside. I have one, but that would fit these guys, but it's so in use. And I am not pulling it out. Here's a nice little spiky guy. Hi, 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 hi. How you doing? I gotta name you good guys. Alright, I'm just gonna move stuff around. Yeah, they are pretty dry, actually. Da, da, da. Welcome to my chaotic night, everyone. And there is a stepping up connection to all this. We're getting there. I just wanted to get through the fun of plants. Alright. And I have like absolutely no room on my desk here for this tonight. I was really not expecting this was going to happen. An early Christmas gifts. Okay, so we got this guy. Look how cool they are. You know, look how pretty cool these guys. They got really good. Oh, ow, they're perky. They're pointy. Alright, so we're going to give them a spritz. So let's start with the first guy. Especially since I keep making a mess here. Mess. Yeah, I'll probably trim these down a little better, these plastic things, as they are pretty prickly. So this guy, I'm going to do this kind of away from the laptop. And I have some things I do not want to ruin. So I'm going to really, really move them now. So I'm just going to spritz the soil. Give the plant a little spritz. So not much of a watering, but just enough to make it moist and happy. And this tends to make a mess on my desk every time I do water spritzing. So then same with these guys. Give them a decent little spritz. Alright, there we got a good little bit of watering happening as I get my desk all wet here. And paper and all. That's why I wanted to move some of the preciousness. And then this guy, then we gotta name him. So it's not a super watering, but just enough. Start off the week with some moisture. There we go. My 3 guys have been watered. And now I have water all over the table. Let me try to clean that up very quickly. So I can get to part 2 here. Almost. But we gotta name them just before we let them go. And I actually soaked up my piece of paper here. So let's handle that now. I'm gonna pull my grid paper got wet during all this because I usually put it away, but I was like, it's almost needing to go anyway. So this is a little bit wet, so I'm just gonna knock that somewhere. Alright, so we gotta name these guys before we move on to the other half of the video. So what I have here is some painter's tape. I have a pen here somewhere on this desk. Alright, so then we're going to bring back the cute plants. We've got 1, we've got 2, and we got a 3rd guy here, or gal, depending on the mode. Alright, so, if you know me, I love Star Wars, and I you know, I should have looked ahead of time at which plants I already have for Star Wars names, but I did not, because that's kind of me and how I am. So I'm just gonna cut a clean piece of tape off here because this one keeps breaking apart on me. And I gotta think of 3 Star Wars names. We got some cool guys here. I think my favorite is this guy. You're my favorite. For some reason. This is super pokey. Oh my god, you got some really strong pokey things happening. Alright, so what do you guys make me think of? Which part of Star Wars do I want to stick with? Because I've been watching the Clone Wars lately, a little bit. I've been reading, you know, more old Republic, the Jedi and that, where it was a whole different realm, which isn't really interesting me. I just realized this fuzzy on this guy is really gonna fall off, and I'm not trying to break you, but you're there. What do I name these guys? I gotta name them something. It's not coming to me. I look at this one and it reminds me of Tahiri, and that was the name I had for you before, but I don't feel like naming you Tahiri again. I don't want to jinx you. So then I gotta pick a Star Wars. Okay, let's go with Clone Wars. We have Rex and Cody. So this one's gonna be Rex. And I received Rex December 2022, and it was a gift. So there is my tape Rex December 2022 gift. There we go. We've named one of these guys because we're watching the Clone Wars. And I thought of what to name the yellow one. Satine. Even though I don't know if that's a good idea or not. So let's get this piece of tape on here. Hi, Toby. Old Toby wants to know about the plants. You want to come say hi? Come on, say hi. Okay, so we got Rex. And then Satine is going to be the yellow. So there's Satine. My spelling may not be great, but that's okay. And then the last one. What am I gonna name you? I don't know. Do I go Clone Wars because I'm watching it? I could. So there we got Satine on here. Just making sure my tape goes on pretty good. And then we got the last one to name the round fuzzy guy. Oh yeah, name ya, buddy. I actually really like ya. You're cool. I don't even know what to name. Wow, I can't even think. I mean, there's so many Star Wars characters, and I gotta name one. Okay, this guy needs a name. Well, let's think of a name for ya. For some reason, 99 came to mind. Let's go with 99. Let's go with the one that comes to mind. There we go. 99, December 2022, and it was a gift. Alrighty. Because what I love doing is, over time, coming back to my plants and seeing, hey, which ones have stuck around. I still have a plant from December of last year already, which is awesome. But there we go. No, I love to name all my plants after Star Wars characters, even though they're minor characters, but it's just kind of my go-to, because I love Star Wars way too much. Okay, so there we go. We've got the names for these three guys, or gals, whichever. Now, before we go, here's the Stampin' Up! Connection for the night. Ow. So let me just make a little more space here so I can put them away later this evening. Alright. Yeah, we'll just keep that. So I wanted to make paper cactuses. So I did. And I'll show you all in just a moment as I kind of... Let's tilt this down. So I wanted to make paper cactuses, so I did. And here we go. Here's three that I started with to kind of feel out what they are. Oh, I'm huge about Star Wars. So I just kind of wrote the names. And then what I was trying to gear up is I wanted to make these two Stampin' Up! Cactus. These were scrap paper I had. And then I have these two little paper cactuses that I'm gifting out to a couple friends. And yeah, so there we go. There is the paper connection here. And these are pretty cool. I love these. And I just alternated the colors because this paper, it's a double-sided versus these ones well, this one's double-sided. These two are single-sided, so I'm seeing a lot of like the white coming through, so I wanted it to have some holiday color here. And there we go. So there is the connection of Cactus Night. So there we go. My night was spent running around picking up real cactuses, and I had these made from last night. Woohoo! Alright, well everyone, I don't think they're related to Christmas. I just really wanted Christmas themed, personally, because that's just me. But these are cool, so I love these. Alright, well I'm gonna go because I gotta get my cactuses put away before my dog eats them, because I do not need him to get hurt. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back again near future with more videos. Alright everyone, thanks. And yeah. So feel free to like and share, comment, follow, and subscribe. And of course, there's always hashtag replay. Bye for now.